That's not COVID. It's called smoker's hack or a winter's cough. I have some hot tea here. I made my first recording, I don't know, a couple hours ago now. It took me like an hour to figure out how to put it on YouTube, and then somehow it said part 1 of 2. And I don't know what they're talking about. And there's 2 virus episodes or podcasts on YouTube. One is the 15-minute version, and the other one is 1 second. Yeah, so there is no part 2. I don't know how any of that happened, because I'm sort of computer, palsy or something. I can do research. I can type. I can work Twitter and Facebook like I invented them. As long as I only write or repost or retweet or something. I don't know. I'm not computer savvy. It's, most of my life I never had a computer. I remember getting my first computer down in New Orleans for $50 from my boss. It was this big old white thingy. No internet, but I could type and save a lot of stuff on there. I had my book on there, my first book called Rosalie Alley, which I never finished. But, I might one day. But, I don't care. Whatever. It's pretty good, though. I mean, I wrote it in my 20s. I didn't quite have the vocabulary I certainly wasn't, mentally stable or anywhere close to that, and no one I knew was either. We were all totally nuts. But they were a lot crazier than me. They were just doing everything in secret. So while I maybe had one of the craziest reputations, I wasn't crazy at all. I just had a severe drinking problem. But I never hurt anyone. I was just dumb knucklehead wandering around the French Quarter. And most of the time it was a blast. It really was. And all the people I knew were doing wicked things in secret, including mind controlling me and gaslighting me and using and abusing me. They were witches. Real witches, highly trained, very powerful, total geniuses, and I was completely surrounded by them for 20 years. It was, and I had no idea. Even my ex was a witch. I was with her 15 of those 20 years in New Orleans. I was blind. I didn't notice. I couldn't see. I couldn't tell. It's hard to explain, I didn't believe in heaven or hell or witches or angels or any of it. I didn't believe it. And that's my mistake, Oh, yeah, this yummy tea. It could use some sugar, but I don't have any. I only get 15 minutes per podcast, so whatever. I thought I can go much longer. I guess you gotta pay for that. So my episodes will be, or podcasts, I keep wanting to call them episodes. My podcast will be, I guess short and sweet. A lot of people like my voice. I've been told many times, people miss hearing my voice. And I never share it on Facebook or Twitter because I just type. But now I'm going to share my little 15-minute podcasts and see if people enjoy them. I have a lot to say, but, I'm a little goofy. So, so a lot of times I may be talking about tea or, my dog or who knows. But I find this very relaxing and calming. And I'm thinking it's therapeutic. It's nice to speak my mind and not be talked over, interrupted, laughed at, mocked, or ignored, or, all those things that go along with real life and being on social media. So it's very nice to finally find a way to, say what I have to say without, being interrupted or reading stupid comments, which I'm sure people will add eventually to the YouTube podcast website. But I don't care. Whatever. I'm used to witchcraft abuse. The funny people think I'm very abrasive. That never met me in real life, and I'm really not. I am abrasive on Facebook. Let's just say Facebook and Twitter. That's all I'm on. Because I think it's important that people wake up as fast as possible. That is my logic. It's a tactic to make people wake up as fast as possible. Why? Because I think time is of the essence. And the faster people wake up, the faster they will have the opportunity to choose, to make the choice, their free will choice. And it is, God gives us free will. And there's nothing Satan can do about that. We have a free will gift given by God to either choose Him or choose Satan. And everyone in the world has to make this choice. So no one is innocent here. The doctors and nurses in the hospitals are not innocent. The priests are not innocent. They're the wolves in sheep's clothing. Everyone who is not a Christian is not innocent, because if you do any research into religion, and I have a lot of research, and Christianity was my last stop, they all fall apart. Every single one. There is holes that you can tell the religions are incorrect. Buddhism, I studied Buddhism first because I fell in love with a Korean girl. And she's American, but her mother's from Korea. And I was under the impression that she was Buddhist. But that was just her front. She was a really powerful witch, who I believe one day will be the voodoo queen of New Orleans, or one of them. That's how powerful she is. She did a lot of training. I knew her, 20 years. Not quite. No, I know her 20 years now, but I met her 3 years after I moved there. So I knew her in New Orleans for 17 years. We worked together at 2 different places, and at a restaurant, at a grocery store, and then we worked together on the internet, and we nearly collapsed SeaWorld. She's very good at what she does, but when I wouldn't go along with her plans, in order for us to get married, I had to make a free will choice. She never lied to me, but she didn't tell me the truth. What she did was show me the reality, the hidden reality of the world. And that witches are real, the devil's real, and that's eventually how I came to God. But it took me several years because it was very confusing. But I made my free will choice, and she wasn't happy about that because I chose God, and she never will. She's in very deep with all the witches in New Orleans, and it's everyone I knew. They're all witches. So it's it's a very long story to explain 20 years of that. But it didn't. My life being surrounded by witches did not start in New Orleans. It started in my hometown of Chicago, where they were all witches too, unfortunately, and I was shot in broad daylight by just little teenagers when I was 17 years old for figuring out that the earth was flat. And the government didn't like that, so they set me up to be killed. And gosh, I'm just going blank here on it. I never really talk about this in real life. My book talks about it, and it's much easier for me to write. I'm a much better writer than communicator, but I'm getting better. I'm okay at it. I want to give this podcast thing a shot, and I feel like I really didn't say much here. There's only 30 seconds left, so it goes pretty fast. The 15 minutes, and basically, God saved me. He talked to me. He told me to make her kiss me first. And when I heard his voice while I was sitting in her bedroom, I panicked and went home.